Okay, so what I'm doing is before I go on my hike, I'm going to send an email because I'm doing a Black Friday promo, and you guys can all see that below because I gave you a present because Christmas came early because I'm Santa Claus and you're not, and I am, and that makes me better than you because I'm Santa and you're not. So go and check that out in the description. So bad day of eating yesterday, not because I didn't hit my calorie goals, but because I ate dinner really late, so I knew my weight would be higher. So I was 191 this morning. Very disappointed in it. And mentally, it just sucks to see. So my goal this weekend, you will be seeing me get to 187 or lower come hell or high water. I'm going to make this public so that way you can see that I'm going to hold myself to it. And you will be seeing that as my next weigh-in. And I don't care how hard it is, I'm going to hit it. I have mainly cleared out a lot of the red meat out of my fridge, and I have switched to like chicken or turkey, very lean, just lowering the calories, cutting out the sugar. And today I'm going to be going on a hike, so I'll take you through my day. And yeah, I have basically been in this attraction space now for a lot of years, and I'm constantly trying to create the best products and offers for guys to actually have them or to get them success. And that's what I spend like majority of all my time doing, is not only refining my dating life, but the more I refine my dating life, the more I help everybody else. So yeah, email one. So I'm going to send this to my newsletter, and then who else am I going to send this to? I should send this to, should we send this to everyone in Headman Habits or no?
Send it to everyone.
Not too early. We should go newsletter, and what's like a secondary list that we've had? Like all opens maybe?
Do recent opens. There's a list called recent opens.
Alright, so as I've gotten older, my body seems to really just hold on to weight a lot easier. And it's so funny, I can even tell like meal by meal how each thing is going to affect me. So I was just super disappointed about my weight. I'm really trying to lean down. I'm doing everything that I can. And just hitting that caloric restriction. Like right now I'm about to go on a hike. I'm still fasted. I've not eaten a single thing yet today. I mean, so it's, what time is it? It's 2:12 p.m. right now. Yeah, and I haven't ate anything besides, I've had water today, or bubbly water. But other than that, yeah, you have to prioritize health first if you want to be more attractive. Like, that's the thing is, guys can talk about anything they want. They can talk about style, they can talk about fashion, you can talk about jewelry, accessories, watches, all that stuff, but you got to understand this. The core essence of you, right, and how you look is a lot of it going to be predicated on your body fat level. So you can add all that stuff you want. Like if your physique as is not on point, it's going to really set you back, right? So that's what I'm trying to do, is dial in the most important thing. And the most important thing is getting to the right body weight for yourself to make yourself the most attractive version of yourself possible. All right, so one thing that I really think guys have to understand here is like, why do you have to put your best foot forward, and why do you have to do the hard work of, like, let's say, going out on a walk or maintaining adequate body weight or maintaining a lean physique? This sounds brutal, but you got to understand, like, you're fighting against natural selection, okay? Like in animals or animal kingdom, right? Like survival of the fittest, adaptation, natural selection. Well, here's what you got to remember. I don't want to say that not everybody's meant to reproduce, but you have to understand that, like, obviously women want the best genes and the best survival traits out of the man possible. So by you even taking care of yourself or knowing how to take care of yourself gives you a massive advantage compared to every single guy who doesn't, right? So like going on a 90-minute walk every single day to burn fat or to lose weight or to burn calories, that's important, right? All of this is important. Like inside of my Headman Nation community, today was our 45th call, right? So I help these guys with their attractiveness and learning dating skills and understanding the language of women, and I teach all this stuff, and today was our 45th call. And every question that I get from these guys, it's like there's two questions that need to be answered. The first question that needs to be answered is the question they're actually asking. But there's a deeper level subconscious question going on at all times too. And the second question that they need answered is the one that I already know and understand, And that's the fact that they are trying to make a woman like them who fundamentally doesn't like them. So this is the problem. You can't manufacture attraction. You can't force attraction. You can't create attraction out of thin air. Attraction just happens. And the reason why it's important to take care of yourself is because let's say you have great game, right? And you're working that words perfectly. Well, it's good. And let's say that gets her to a B+ interest level in you. Okay, excellent. Well, what happens when she meets a guy who she just naturally has A- interest in and you're at a B+? You're working way too hard, right? So the point of maximizing yourself is to put your best foot forward so she continues to choose you. Okay, now there's a lot of guys who they're going to say, Casey, you've said in other videos, but women fall in love with words and how you make them feel. Yes, absolutely. But you're putting the cart before the horse, okay? In order to actually get to that level where she falls in love with you, your personality, your words, how you make her feel, you have to be able to get your foot in the door in the first place, which means you have to be able to qualify to actually meet her attraction threshold needed to even get that date in the first place. And this is so important to realize because guys just make way too many excuses, right? And they think that they can make up for this with like money or status, but like women don't care, right? They're looking at the internal value of who you are. So yeah, you know, another thing too is you got to stay true to yourself, right? And not make excuses. Today when I noticed I was heavier, I was just like, I was genuinely pissed off. Like I was like, that's unacceptable. You know, I'm doing this, I'm taking this seriously. You know, so I've been fasting all day today. And I'm probably going to hit the sauna after this. There's a high chance at my 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. time, I might actually weigh less than I did this morning. And that's why I'm doing this. You guys need to see that like real effort goes into this. Any attraction guru out there who's telling you, oh, it's only about game and work your words, you got to understand, if they are fundamentally out of shape, you should not be taking advice from them. If they have bad hygiene, you should not be taking advice from them. If there is noticeable things about them that are not signaling strength, right, protective capabilities, masculinity, you should not be taking advice from them, right? So you need to actually look at the whole piece of the puzzle, and that's very important. Okay, now obviously, I don't have like male model genetics, right? But over the past 10 years, I've still taken care of myself. I'll give you an example. For any of you guys who are getting friction, you're getting all this friction on these dating apps and women who say that they'll go out with you, but then you can't get a date. Okay, this is how it looks and this is how it needs to look when you're doing things right. So this woman messages me on an app. She goes, hi. And I text back, I go, sign me up. She goes, dinner first. I send a voice memo saying, what's your number? She sends it. Okay, her opening message today was, then I go, hi, it's Casey. She goes, hi. Did you want to do something tonight? ? Okay, you gotta understand, they'll get right to the point too, just like you want to, if they like you. But this is the problem, is you're trying to manufacture desire with women who fundamentally don't like you. So I only speak English, right? I don't know how to speak verbal jujitsu, right? I don't know how to like say the right thing at every line. And if you try to run that game, you're gonna be sorely mistaken, because when it comes to attraction, you either are or you aren't, right? But like I said, you're fighting natural selection. When I say fighting it, you want to give your genes a fighting chance to actually, you know, attract someone and potentially reproduce. Most guys don't have a fighting chance because they don't have the competency. So like, you have to acquire the competency as a man to grow and to evolve and to make yourself into who you need to be. And no one can do that for you but you. So when we're walking on these hikes and stuff, if I hear like an animal in the bushes, I get really scared or freaked out. And this is how I've been my whole life, is like I would hear, like I remember even in elementary school, my whole family, we lived more rural. We lived on a couple acres, and I'd hear like it doesn't matter what it was. It doesn't matter if it was a bunny. It doesn't matter if it was a squirrel. If I'd see or hear something in the bushes, I'd like freak out. And it's because, in elementary school, one time in the bushes, I got chased by a wild turkey, right? So I'm like probably in the 3rd grade, and I get close to this turkey nest, and there's this turkey nest, and I'm guessing it was a mom turkey, and then the mom turkey had these eggs in the turkey nest or something, and I'm guessing I pissed it off because I was too close to the egg children turkeys, and then this damn thing chased me. And then I remember ever since then, it doesn't matter if it could be the tiniest squirrel, I'm always looking in the bushes and I think it's a goddamn werewolf. What I'm going to do too, I think I'll probably do like physique comparisons through this too. That's actually like where I started, you know, vlogging and everything was like, or I guess just making videos was from, you know, physique or bodybuilding. So I guess I'll give an update of what I currently look like. Just give me a second. All right. Yeah. So don't judge me. It's my first week. Probably not in the best shape. But I'll kind of show you where I'm sitting right now. I mean, I have good, probably like muscle mass. You know, I definitely have like abs. It's tricep, back. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of where I'm at. I mean, I guess I'll do like legs. So yeah, I mean, I come from more of a bodybuilder background. But you know, I'll tell you this too, like you have to really probably like what you see in the mirror. I'm definitely not the most like confident in my body. Like I wish I was probably a bit leaner. And yeah, it's like my bulk that I went on, it was almost like by accident because what happened was like, so I used to weigh about between probably 165 to about 172. And then what happened was I just kept lifting and eating and lifting and eating and lifting and eating and lifting and eating. Well, you fast forward 5 years, and that's what happens is you put on 20, 25 pounds. And this is even like, I would say I was even cutting, like, I was probably even like cutting when I moved here to Arizona. So like, you know, the past couple days I was 189, today I was 191. So just some water fluctuation, obviously. But, you know, when I first moved to Arizona, I was over 200. So I've even been slowly leaning down already. But yeah, it's definitely hard for me. I will say this too. So like, I think, you know, you have to have a lot of self-awareness to admit this. But like, I think even for me, like food has really controlled me. Right? Like my go-to date a lot of times is like, hey, let's go grab ice cream or let's go grab pizza. Or I'd grill these huge steaks, right? Or every time I go to a steakhouse, right, I'd buy the biggest one, right? Like the 40-ounce ribeye, right? Or the 45-ounce tomahawk, right? Like, and I've always really liked food. I have a huge appetite. Well, that doesn't work good. But I realize like a lot of this too is what you believe about yourself. So if I keep telling myself I have a huge appetite, I'm gonna have a huge appetite. If I keep telling myself, oh, I get hungry a lot, then I'm going to keep getting hungry a lot. If I keep telling myself, oh, I'm naturally bigger because I eat more, then I'm going to keep holding those beliefs. I'm the same as anybody, so I just have to retrain myself to telling myself, I don't need as much food, it's okay to be in a caloric deficit. I'm going to feel healthier and happier with myself afterwards. So a lot of this self-talk is it's just like it's belief training to get you to believe the right things about yourself. But yeah, like if you don't like what you see in the mirror, like obviously I like what I see in the mirror somewhat, like I have good muscle mass and stuff, but I would prefer to be probably 20 pounds lighter, right? So that's what I'm striving to get to. This is definitely very hard. Yeah, and then I mean, I may get like a hair transplant in like probably a year or so, but like what I kind of do right now is I just have like this says Rogaine minoxidil topical solution. Usually at night before bed, I have this like dropper, so I'll just like, I guess do this, like towards the back, right? And then I'll go like up here in the temples. Now, is this gonna work for my hairline? Probably not. Like, I don't know. I don't have very high hopes, right? Like, I look at stuff like this as the same as investing. It's funny, everyone's talking about crypto. A guy I know, he texts me and he goes, so what number are you comfortable investing? And I said my number, and then he goes, well, what's your risk tolerance? He goes, what number, or what percent of that are you comfortable losing? I said all of it. because I don't expect, like, I'm naturally pessimistic. Like, I don't expect anything to work. And in fact, I expect everything to fail. The funniest thing about this whole channel that I have, like, I've never said this to anyone really, but like, I never expected my channel to grow. Like, I never actually expected this to work, right? Like, I never expected to have anyone follow me. I never expected this to ever work. In fact, I didn't think this would ever grow. And I'll tell you this, I thought it would fail. I thought I'd fail. Because when I was living in North Dakota, I made probably like 300 fitness vlogs and videos. I probably had only 800 subscribers, and I would say 600 of those subscribers, I would direct message people one by one or friend them on Facebook and say, hey, please support, please follow, please subscribe. So I was getting no growth, I had no traction. For 3 years, I was an online fitness coach. And even just organically, I mean, I still probably made, I don't know if I had to guess, probably between 150 and 250 grand, you know, just coaching people organically. So you don't need a big audience to make money. You know, I had good word of mouth reputation from fitness training without having a big online media following. So that wasn't the case. The issue was never like, you know, me gaining customers or anything. For me, it was always like, I didn't know how to gain exposure. So I made 350 fitness videos and none of them popped off. None of them blew up. Well, that's a lot. Like, I would go to the gym. I had to be the guy who would risk embarrassment, being the only guy in North Dakota who would drag a tripod around into the gym. From there, I had to edit all of it. I had to risk the embarrassment of sitting there, setting up my tripod at the gym, filming myself, filming my squats, filming my deadlifts, voiceover. I had to do all this. Then, you know, fast forward, I would have to edit all of them. I would a lot of times make them very cinematic looking. So obviously people would naturally get discouraged, but I don't give up and I just keep going, and eventually stuff worked, right? So like, that's all I can tell you guys is like, you know, you have to figure out, like, if you want to gain success, it's about having the competency to get success. Okay, so if you want to attract women, you got to have the competency to know how to attract women. If you want to make more money, you have to have the competency to make more money. You have to do it. Okay, and that's just what I've got good at doing. It's like, here's how I'm going to do it. Here's how I'm going to keep progressing. And yeah,